Hi, I'm Rhona and I did English and Scottish Literature between 1981 and 1985.
Hi, I'm Lynne and I did a very brief part-time course at Aberdeen University doing sociology.
When I first came to Aberdeen, when I was looking round at various universities, I loved the campus, I loved the course, and I felt like they really wanted me more than any of the others did.
And I had a bit of a education blitz as an adult, so I went and did my O-levels and my higher, and then I did a diploma leading to my work, which was community education. I got a job part-time doing that, and I thought, well, I've got all these days free. I was working at night with young people. I thought, I'm going to do something, so I'm going to go to uni.
But then quite quickly after that you got a full-time job in what you wanted to do.
Yeah, I got a full-time job, so I couldn't do it any longer, so unfortunately I had to leave uni. The time I was there, I really enjoyed it.
But you got the full-time job in what you'd
what I'd
studied for at the College of Ed, so that set you on your path.
That was me, yeah.
So we were friends for a while first, weren't we? And we just got to know each other through mutual friends and a sort of bigger group of friends, and then just started spending more
uni nights out and
together.
Stuff, gin nights and what have you.
Yeah. And the horrid Crazy Daisies as well.
Yeah.
Crazy Daisies was one of the original gay venues in Aberdeen. It was quite a wild place. So yeah, we spent quite a lot of time talking in the toilet there, because it was the only place where you could hear yourself. Hours
there, just talking. So
it was my third year.
Yeah, my first.
Your first.
Back in the kind of 1980s, it was like a lot more difficult to be openly kind of LGBTQ. University's GaySoc had just been established in the late 70s. And did you go to any of the events?
I think you were one of the first. You were one of the.
Yeah, I was one of
the first people involved in that.
I was involved in it a lot. Yeah. We used to meet in above this bookshop in King Street.
Oh, Boomtown Books.
Boomtown Books. That was our first sort of safe meeting place, and then we got a place in the uni. It was just about getting the message out there. Loads of getting the telephone lines up for folk to phone in and get help or support, and just generally supporting people, supporting each other. People in Aberdeen were desperate because there was nothing. We had one phone line one day a week on a Wednesday night, and that was it.
There was hardly any venues or anything at that time. Well, I mean, we're joking about Crazy Daisies, but it was
the only thing.
It was a dive, wasn't it? Really, it wouldn't be the sort of place that either of us would choose to go to nowadays. But you went because it was the thing that was.
It was the only thing
it was available, and that was the only place you could meet folk. You used to go to a lot of the original Pride marches down in London.
Oh God, that's what I had to tell my parents. I was on the telly. I went down to one of the first London Pride marches. It wasn't the first, but it was. It hadn't been that many. And somehow I was a steward for the Aberdeen contingency, so I was on the outside. And the next thing, we're watching it back, and here's me on the blooming television, and I hadn't told my parents. So I had to come back and tell them before they saw it on the telly and the news.
So they hadn't, like, you hadn't told them that you were going to London, or you hadn't told them?
No, I hadn't told them anything. They didn't know I was in London, they didn't know I was gay.
And how was it being involved, I guess, in one of the first Pride marches in London?
Was very scary. It was really scary. The police were awful, and it just the negative atmosphere. And there wasn't that. There must have been a few thousand of us, but not like today when they get 1.5 million. It's not,
I decided I didn't want to do any further study at that point. I was quite keen to get out into the world and earn some money. And I had a good friend from school actually who went to college in Aberdeen, who had finished his college course a year before me and applied to the civil service and ended up working for Customs and Excise, as it was at that time. I thought, oh, that sounds quite good. I could apply to do that, and I would, I'd get a sniffer dog and a uniform and all that sort of stuff.
Work at the airport.
That sounds like it would be quite fun. So I applied. Got given a role in Customs and Excise and was told on the first day, you will turn up to the VAT office. What's that? I don't know anything about it. Tax, nothing to do with me, but that's been my career ever since. So I'm still a VAT specialist to this day. I'm a chartered tax advisor now, and I'd never have got that opportunity if I hadn't gone to Aberdeen. The degree I did has been very important and very useful in all of that, because the sort of tax I do is much more about words than it is about numbers. So it was the ideal path, and I've ended up doing something that I've really enjoyed and found fulfilling. That type of degree, and especially in those days, I'm not so sure about so much now, a lot of it's self-study and doing stuff on your own and organising your own thoughts and organising your own way of doing stuff, and that's been a really important part of what I do. Again, because it's quite a specialised thing, you're not always following a formula that somebody else has done. So having that sort of creative thinking has really been important, and I think that was really encouraged in the degree that I did. So it set me up well.
Do you have any kind of like top tips for like students for like them to make the most of their time, or anything like kind of advice that you would want to impart?
Enjoy it.
It's a golden time in your life, it really is. You know, it's such an opportunity to get that level of education at such an amazing institution, and just go for it and take every opportunity that comes your way. And don't be too, I think there's far too much emphasis now on I am training to do a particular job. We don't even know what jobs are going to be available in the next 10 or 20 years, so try and absorb all the skills rather than just looking to sort of push yourself through a training course. It's about education, it's not about training. Proposals. Unromantic proposals. You check your phone, you receive a text and it says 2 p.m 28th of December, St Nick's, be there. Okay.
So that was it. Family and friends.
Lynn's mum and dad were from Aberdeenshire, and your mum and dad were so brilliant to us from day one.
Yeah, so they
really were, so they had to be there.
And my sister and
your
nieces and nephews. And
it was a fabulous day, but just to know that you had the protection of the law, and that we'd been able to celebrate and thank all the people that had been really important to us over the years was really great as well. Your mum and dad were fantastic. I really was. We had to have it at a venue where they could be there, because they'd been such an important part of everything we've done.
And they loved it, didn't they?
Yeah, they enjoyed it.
That's really special.
And we ran about in a limo, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it was good fun. Friends of ours who were at our civil partnership were also at one of the previous ones, so there'd only been 2 before, but they were at, let's say, they were just spending their week going around all these parties, having a great time, weren't they? And it was them who said, so when we signed the register, it's got a number on it, and it had the number 3 on it. Our friends told us that the previous 2 had been 2 male couples. Therefore, we realised we'd been the first women.
First woman.
So that's quite cool.
Yeah, it was really special.
It's quite a cool thing to do.
It was, I mean, as soon as it became law, I just thought, right, I'm booking it. I mean, if they hadn't got in quicker, because one of them was a counsellor, so they got in quick.
I'm kind of glad they didn't go in quick though, because they got a bit of press coverage, didn't they? We just went off and did our own thing. Yeah.
And was it something you were always kind of keen to do, obviously, when the
very much so. Very much so.
It's just a legal thing.
It's illegal.
You know? I mean, it's you just got to protect yourself. It's like wills and
medical
power
stuff as
of
well.
attorney,
being able to say that you're next of kin to that person and not have that questioned.
Yeah.
That's really, because that had happened to us a couple of times before, hadn't it, where people wouldn't accept that. Yeah. So it's a really important bit of paper.
It just happened, you know.
Ceremony itself, it's almost a sense of relief to be able to finally do that and just have that box ticked, have that piece of paper. It was really, really important thing to do. And then the celebration after was really lovely to be able to invite all those important people, and we still end up having a laugh every day about something, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
It's sometimes the most random things.
I know, we do.
Sometimes my outrageous things.
Silly things. Yeah. After all this time, I think we still love each other.
I think so. Yeah, it's having the same values as somebody else and having the same sense of humour, or a shared sense of humour, is so important.
Just be yourself.
Absolutely, and don't
change yourself for anybody. That's the most important thing.
And don't let people make you second guess yourself either.
No.
You know, trust your feelings. I think trust your feelings.
Yeah.